Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Snow, and in today's video, we're going to talk about something very important regarding future content in Sword of Convaleria, especially if you're free to play. You'll definitely want to watch this video because it'll help you make decisions moving forward. So on the Chinese server of Sword of Convaleria, they're currently running a collaboration event with Delicious in Dungeon, which for those of you that don't know is a Japanese anime and manga series. This collab was actually announced months ago at the end of 2024, so we've known about this for quite some time now, but there wasn't any real details about the collab at the time. All we had was an image that they put out for a teaser announcement for the collab, and that the collab was going to be with Delicious in Dungeon, and that was it. They didn't provide any other information until recently, and as it turns out, the collaboration was planned for the end of February, so it's been quite some time since the collab was originally announced. The Delicious in Dungeon series has actually collabed with a number of other games. They ran a collaboration with Arknights, Seven Knights Idol, Fortnite, and Fortress Saga. I'm sure there's probably more. It seems like Delicious in Dungeon wants to become the next ReZero or Persona, collabing with everything imaginable. I'm sure there's a lot of you watching that know what I'm talking about. Delicious in Dungeon probably has even more collabs planned for this year, besides their collaboration with Sword of Convaleria, especially since the second season of the anime is planned to run this year, at some point in 2025. And lots of animes and games use these type of collaborations as a part of their advertising campaigns. I personally have not watched the Delicious in Dungeon anime or read the manga. I am an anime and manga fan, but this is just not an anime that I'm personally familiar with. I have not watched it. So for those of you like me who are unfamiliar with this anime, the general synopsis of the story is that it's about a group of adventurers as they navigate an endless dungeon to find a missing sister. The series is known for its unique cooking-themed fantasy plot, heartwarming atmosphere, and its diverse character representation. So it makes sense that the developers for Sword of Convaleria are using Coco with her own cooking theme to tie together Sword of Convaleria's collaboration with Delicious in Dungeon. I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's a perfect way of tying this collaboration together without it seeming like they're forcing two random ideas together, like so many other gacha games do. I think the character designs for the Delicious in Dungeon collab fit well with the character designs and art style used in Sword of Convaleria. And I would say Sword of Convaleria also has a very diverse pool of characters. So this collab could be a match made in heaven, and I can see the potential for so many other collaborations as well. As of now, this collab is only available on the Chinese server, and the Delicious in Dungeon collab with SoC is set to run from February 21st to March 20th. So we'll be waiting quite some time before we get access to this collab on the global server. As it stands now, the earliest we would get this collaboration on the global server is in roughly 24 weeks, so 6 months from now. That's if we follow the same banner order that they did on the Chinese server, and they don't exclude or skip any character banners. They have changed the character banners order around before, so you never know. The collab could be earlier, it could be later, you never know. All we have is the current information we have right now about the collab and all of the banners that have been run prior to the collab. So if they follow the same pattern as they did on the CN server, we would get this collab sometime in August of this year. So it does seem like it's far away, but time flies by so fast, and with so many great characters in between, you don't want to find yourself being caught off guard or be ill-prepared going into a collaboration, because you put yourself at risk of missing out on getting these characters. And unfortunately, like just about every other gacha game, the Delicious in Dungeon event with Sword of Convaleria is a one-and-done event, meaning once the collab character banners are over, you won't be able to summon those characters. Unlike the other debut characters which are added to the summon pool, the collab characters will not be added to the summon pool. So if you don't summon the collab characters during the event, you won't be able to get them unless they rerun the event at some point, which is unlikely. Most collabs in gacha games don't get rerun, so if you want to have the collab characters as part of your collection, you need to make sure you have enough summons saved up to get them. So for whenever this collaboration gets run on the global server. Now, on the Chinese server, they are running a special event with the collab to get a 50% discount on the cost for your first 10 pull. I'm not sure why this says this 10 consecutive days thing because the discount wasn't there when I logged in the following day. Something isn't quite right with the translation or the wording in general of the notice. However, I think the most important part is that they did reduce the full pity, so the hard pity for this collab event is 100 summons instead of the typical 180 summons, which is nice because it makes it easier to summon the collab characters and to save up enough summons to get the collab characters during the event. And trust me, you'll want those summons, especially if you have horrible luck like I have. I needed to go all the way to over 90 summons just to get one of the collab characters. So you really should prepare yourself for the worst, especially if you're free to play. There are 3 characters for the collab event, 2 of which you have to summon for, and one of the characters is being given away completely for free, which is always nice to see. I like when they give at least one of the characters to you for free. They're also running an event that gives you shards for the free character so you can star level him up. As for the other 2 characters, you will have to summon for those. So you're going to need at least 200 summons worth of Luxite and Secret Fates to safely go to full pity for both of those characters, if necessary. Hopefully you get lucky and pick up the characters much faster than that. But it's better to be safe than sorry, especially going into events that are one and done, and you won't have access to summon these characters again. You know, as I already stated, collaborations tend to be extremely limited, so if you don't want to miss out on the collab characters, you will have to summon for the characters during the collab event. So in terms of how good are the collab characters, are they characters that you'll definitely need to summon for? Are they must-haves? Are they broken or busted? I did look into the CN players' opinions on the collab characters, and based on what I've read, the collab characters are good. There's no doubt about that. But they're not completely broken or busted. One of the characters isn't out yet, so the full scope of what that character can do still isn't known. But it seems if you miss out on getting the collab characters, it's not like your account will be ruined. I think with the collab characters, it's more about having a concern that your character collection will be incomplete because you didn't get the collab characters. Of course, you never know what type of future content a character could be great for, so there's that to consider. But thus far, that hasn't really been the case in Sword of Convaleria. By that I mean we haven't needed to use a specific character to complete a piece of content. I have seen that in other gacha games, and that never went over well with players. Forcing players to have a specific character to complete a piece of content is just a horrible idea. Some games die doing that type of nonsense, so it's just not a good idea. Luckily so far, SoC has been more of a use what you have type of game. I personally don't like missing these types of limited characters, especially collab characters, because you can't get these later on, whereas you'll have a chance to pick up every other debut character in SoC at some point. All other debut characters are added to the summon pool, and they get reruns on double banners as well. The collab characters won't be added to the summon pool and will not be run on double banners. So if you want to pick up the collab characters for your collection, you should probably start thinking about that now and plan ahead. If the collab is run 6 months from now, that would be the same time frame as Global's anniversary, so I'm sure they'll have a bunch of anniversary events going on as well. It really depends when this collab gets run. The collab itself has a bunch of events associated with it, but it's not going to give you enough summons to summon these characters. You will need to save up summons if you want to summon these collab characters and get them for your collection. Both of the characters have weapon banners as well, so if you want their weapons, you'll have to save up more summons. So it's definitely something you want to start thinking about now, because we have a lot of characters in between, and you need to decide whether or not you really need those characters, or if you should just save for the collab characters. But I wouldn't stress out too much. We still have roughly about 6 months to save up for this collab. The collab could be sooner, so there could be less time to save up, but you still have months to save for this collab, especially if it's something that you're looking forward to, or you just want these characters for your collection. Either way, this is another event players can be excited for, and it's something we all can look forward to coming out on the global server. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.